into throwing light on the development of political thought provide as well competes into the contemporary life and manners of the people. Gadyakarnamrita, written by Kalakalaba, known popularly as Second Vijayachakravartin, under the patronage of the Hoysala king, Viranarasimha II, is a historical romance. It refers to the war between Viranarasimha II and the Confederacy of Pandya, Magadha and Pallava rulers. Vijayachakravartin III wrote Rukmini Kalyana, a Mahakavya. He gives the genealogy of the Hoysalas in the beginning of his work. The period of Vijayanagara produced historical literature valuable to the modern investigator. Among the most important Sanskrit works mention may be made of Rajakalanirnaya, Madura Vijayam, Varadambika Paranayam, Sringarabhushana Bana, Salu Vavadayam, Sivatattva Ratnakara, and Sangita Suryodayam. Rajakalanirnaya by Vidyaranya traces the history of Vijayanagara since its foundation. Maduravijayam by Gangadevi, Queen of Campana, deals with the subject of the overthrow of the Sultan of Madura by Campana. Archutarayabhudam by Rajanatha and Saluvabhudam by Rajanava Dandima III describe the military exploits of Achyutaraya and Saluva Narasimha respectively. Varadambika Paranayam by Tirumalamba begins with the description of the war between Narasanayaka, father of Achyutaraya, with the Chola king and then gives his genealogy. Sringarabhushana Bana of Vamana Bhatta gives a glimpse of the civic life of Vijayanagara. Sivatattva Ratnakara of Basavaraja, a Keladi ruler, is an encyclopedic work. It deals with the history of both Vijayanagara and Keladi. Lakshmana Pandita, the court physician of Bukka II, narrates at length the history of the family of Bukka in the introduction of his work, Vaidyarajavalabham, a treatise on Ayurveda. Sanjiteshwariyodayam by Lakshmanarayana, Natyacharya in the court of Krishna Devaraya, is a work on music. It, however, alludes to the history of Krishna Devaraya in particular and the history of the Tuluvas in general. The commentaries of Sayana and Madhava Mantri throw light on the origin of the Sangam dynasty and the rule of the early kings. Historical events continued to attract writers in the post-Vijayanagara period. Virabhadra Vijaya Champu of Akambara Sastri details the history of the dynasty of Kempegowda. Vijaya Puranakatha by Panjaringa deals with the history of Bijapur and its Musli rulers. Shoya Andredi Vamsavatarana of Krishnaraja Wodyar III describes the brave deeds of Yajuraya and Krishnaraja, the originators of the Wodyars of Mysore. Prakrit. In Prakrit, the first available work is Gavasaptasati or Satasai, written by the Satavahana king, Hala. Satasai is an anthology of 700 erotic verses. It is written in Maharashtri Prakrit and in Arya meter. The collection throws incidental light on the contemporary social life. Ganadhya, who according to tradition was a minister of Satavahana, was the author of Brihatkatha. This work is extant only in fragments quoted by later writers. The historical value of the work is differently assessed by different writers. Lilavar alludes to the military exploits of King Hala in the eastern Deccan. These works obviously contain little trustworthy information. Tamil, which possesses the oldest literature among the South Indian languages, helps the historian of Karnataka to some extent. In the Tamil epic, Silappadicaram, composed after the Sangam age, the people of Karnataka are denoted by the word, Karanada. It also refers to Kannada actresses and dancers, who entertained King Sengatavan in the Nilgiri hills. The Tamil chronicle, Kongu Desa Rajakal Karatram, History of the Kings of the Kongu country, throws incidental light on Vijayanagara history. Under Krishna Devaraya, Kamara Saraswati wrote a poem dealing with the marriage of Krishna Devaraya with the daughter of Gajapati king of Orissa. It yields information regarding interstate policy. Kannada. The earliest literature in the language of the people of Karnataka, Kannada, that is accessible dates from the 9th century AD. Kavarajamarga is the first extant work in Kannada poetics. The work is of inestimable value for the Kannada literary historian. We can glean from this work information about the land, the people, their language and literature. 10th century marks the beginning of the great period of Kannada literature. By this time, the historical biographies must have been popular in Karnataka. But till we come to the 17th century, we do not come across in Kannada works extolling the heroic deeds of brave men and women, similar to the Charanagitas of Rajastoph, Shayas in Persian and Saharjata in Marathi. The Jaina poets.